the one and only podcast made by a cow. And this week, we've got our first ever guest, Fundie Fridays.
Thank you very much for that appropriate introduction.
Yeah, Jen.
You can call
Jen.
me Reverend Fridays.
Yeah.
I am a reverend.
It's true.
And I will marry all of you without your consent. You're all married now.
You'll be married to them, or you'll marry them like you'll be the officiator?
Everyone that's listening to this podcast right now is officially married to each other as of the end of this sentence.
So depending on how many people listen, that's quite a lot of spouses to deal with.
Yeah, we'll do a survey at the end and get official numbers.
A lot of Christmas presents to buy and stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Welcome, all my new spouses. Today we've got the lovely Jen, who I am very glad to have. We've collabed before. And Jen, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself in case people aren't aware? I'm sure they are, because, you know, you're the most famous. But, you know, just in case.
I guess. I'm Jen. I have a channel called Fundie Fridays where I talk about different aspects of Christian fundamentalism while I do my makeup. Sometimes politics. Most of the time, it's American fundamentalists doing what they do best, which is having lots of kids and wearing long, modest clothes and hitting their kids.
Ugh, like the pearls. Actually, that leads me to my first question. If you had to join one of the Fundie families, which one would you join if you had to? Like if you were held at gunpoint?
I would want to be a Bates, I think.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, they're like the Tennessee version of the Duggars. They have the exact same number of kids. They follow the same religion, but the girls wear pants most of the time, and the mom looks like she can cook. So, you know, and they got horses. That seems nice.
Do you like riding horses?
No.
Oh, me neither. So I was on holiday with my parents. It was just us three because my siblings are older. And I was like maybe 12 at the time. And we went horse riding in Italy. And the coach gave me a horse that was, you know, very old, bless him. And he you know, like when you carry it sounds really mean, but like, you know, when you have a bin bag and there's flies hovering around it, that's what was happening to this horse. Flies were hovering around this horse. Oh. And this poor horse, like, she the way she would hit it, I mean, it's probably not as bad because horses are big, so, like, you would pet them relative to their size. But, yeah, she was like, what's your name? And I went, Tara. And she went, that's a weird name. And I was like, what's yours? And she went, Dagmar. So yeah, that was my horse riding experience. I give it like a 2 out of 10.
Okay. That broke me. Dagmar.
Yeah, the way she said it, so she's like, Dagmar.
Was she Italian?
I think so. She felt like from another planet. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah. So you were doing shit like that. She did not like it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my horse detour, my little side story about horses. So you would join the Bates. I would probably, just because, you know, I feel like people might want to know my answer just in case it might come up in future. If I had to join a fundamentalist family, because I don't know that many, I would probably go for the Plaths. Though I don't know if they count.
Yeah, because half of them are already out.
Yeah, and the kids are actually cool. It's just the parents.
Mm-hmm.
The kids seem lovely.
And they're kind of uninvolved. So really, like, that's why I picked the Bates, because there's activities to do.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to hang out with the parents. You can go, like, swim or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, and actually this reminds me, some people have asked, and I think something that a lot of people suspect when they first come across you is, were you raised fundamentalists?
No, I was raised fairly atheist. My mom was like lapsed Catholic. I went to church twice for Girl Scouts, and that was about it. And I just got interested in the Duggars one day because I was obsessed with TLC. I'm an only child, so like anything with more than one sibling, I was like, what is this alien world? So every single show on TLC is about multiples, pretty much. So I started watching the Duggars and then just became obsessed with fundamentalism, cults, anything like that. Since I don't have the religious trauma, I feel like I can talk about some things in a more uninhibited way because I'm not worried about my salvation. I do not care what IFB preachers think about me. I'm not worried about going to hell. I'm just here to learn and make friends. So
Nice. Make friends with the fundamentalists, or just make friends in general?
friends with the Genonites.
With the Genonites. Yeah, I mean, that's such a great fan name. When did you come up with that?
I was thinking about it for a while, and then when I decided that it wasn't too blasphemous is when I announced it.
Yeah, Genonites is a good name for fans, and what I enjoy is that there's quite a crossover between Genonites and subscriptions. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, it's a friendship I wholly support.
Yeah, of course, exactly. Yeah, we love each other in a very gay way. Don't tell Sister Cindy. Did you ever hear from her, by the way? Because we made a video on her together on Jen's channel. Go watch it if you
No,
haven't.
I didn't.
No, not even after you ordered a cameo from her.
No, and I left a review. It was something like, thank you, with a smiley face. Like, I mean, I didn't get into it.
You gave her a review and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and she didn't even watch our video. Come on, Cindy.
Oh, can you imagine?
Support small creators, Cindy.
Oh, something. So I told you this after we filmed the video, but the people don't know that on the official Sister Cindy Brother Jed website, they have printable bingo cards, so you can play along if they're at your college.
Oh, incredible! And to
Which
anyone
part of me is like,
yeah, to people who are listening and who aren't aware, Sister Cindy is basically a preacher. She calls herself the slut-shaming preacher, and she goes to colleges all over America. And because Gen Z is the most ironic generation ever, they adore her. Like, they don't protest, they don't scream, they don't get upset. They just cheer her on. They bring her cupcakes on her birthday, and when she's screaming crazy homophobic shit, they just laugh. And it's quite beautiful. I enjoy it very much. I mean, they really know how to win the joke, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
yes, they do.
So that's Sister Cindy. If you haven't checked her out, check out Jen's video on her.
Okay, so Sister Cindy. So I'm sending Tara some merch because I looked and Bonfire does not send internationally. So I'm ordering some, and unless I'm wrong, but I ordered them and I'm going to ship them myself. And I'm putting together a care package of things that are like super American in a funny way. So I'm not going to tell you what any of the things are because
I'm so excited.
Pretty please, I hope that you film unboxing it because I think that would be funny.
Oh my goodness. You know.
And there is a cow in there, but it's not in any way that you would normally think.
Is it in the form of cheese?
No, and I did look up because I was like, oh, what if there's any vegan snacks I can send that you don't have over there? And I couldn't find anything, but I did find this I will spoil. They're American Oreos.
Ooh.
And they have like popping candy in them, but I think it's fine. I checked the ingredients.
Yeah, Oreos are vegan.
Well, there's palm oil in them. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I'm not that
hardcore. Well, I was vegan for like 2 years. I stopped for stupid reasons, and now I'd like to get back there someday. But so I'm well versed in the palm oil debate.
Yeah. No, I'm not that great about it. I should cut it down more, but you know, when
it's like unless you're growing your own food in your backyard, you're screwing somebody over.
Exactly. I think it's better to do it, you know, veganism imperfectly than to just not do it at all.
You don't even give the cow like a lunch break, so you're not that vegan. I see her clacking out there.
Clacking.
On a keyboard.
Clacking away. But you know, she's quite a night owl. She hits the town. That's where she gets her break.
Okay.
She goes out on the lash, meets some lads, bring them home at 3 a.m, makes a shitload of noise so I can't sleep. I hear the banging of the headboard. Whoa, this is a really dark joke. So to people
we're celebrating.
Yeah. So to the people that saw the Sister Cindy video, there was a take that I asked Jen to cut because I was scared of it making me get cancelled, but I'm going to tell you what it is anyway because I'm an idiot. And we were talking about, you know, how we love our fans in a gay way because Sister Cindy, I love you, but not in a gay way. And I said that I love the cow in a gay way. And Jen and I both just looked at each other and were like, oh God, bestiality, that will get you cancelled. And now I'm telling you because this is a podcast. Fewer people watch this. No one will know.
Podcasts don't count.
They don't count.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, you can't get cancelled for what you say on a podcast. Ugh. No.
It's the law.
It's not, it's not the same. Anyways. So, we've got a couple of questions.
Sorry.
Yeah, what you were going to say? No, go.
I'm just an excitable kind of person.
No, please
so
go.
I listened to your podcast yesterday while I was building a new litter box for my cats. It looks great.
That's very kind of you to build them a... Yeah.
So, you were talking about... You said you're a tattoo artist, and you were like, oh, it sounds like I have like a personal one. Well, that's so funny because I have a quote-unquote my tattoo artist who's just my best friend. And I just thought that was cute.
Yes.
I wanted to point that out.
No, I mean...
So I'm not Post Malone. Yeah. I don't have one living in my house. But, like, no. I just text my best friend something stupid. Malone? Like, you want to do this as a... Yes, Post Malone, as far as I know, his tattoo artist lives in his house. But mine lives down the street.
That actually isn't that surprising.
So she's been doing it since she was 18. And so, like, she's basically, over the past 10 years, covered up her own artwork because it sucked. And now I'm replacing it with better artwork. So it's just really funny that, you know, when your best friend is your tattoo artist and you come up with something stupid and you text them, hey, let's do this. And then it happens, you know, like, be careful what you wish for.
What's your dumbest tattoo? Tell us.
Well, God, now that she's canceled, I have a Death Eater tattoo on my, that's Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
This one was a purple cheetah print rose, and it was so ugly, so we just covered it up with a cat.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh gosh, yeah. No, I love that. That's kind of nice. You know that you're kind of a canvas for your friend, where she can just go cause chaos.
Well, it's also like when she's doing it, and then she's like, "Oops."
So that's a vote of confidence. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask because I don't think I've asked you this before. What's it like having another person on your channel? You have another cast member occasionally, not all videos,
James?
But James. Yeah.
If he wasn't my boyfriend, I think it would be a completely different experience because, like, I treat him different, which is, you know, it's fucked up. But, like, everybody treats their partner, like, differently than they would, like, a regular friend. So I probably yell at him more than I need to. But, yeah, it's hard to work with somebody else. So whenever you start doing it, you know, I wish you good luck.
Was that always going to be the thing from the beginning, or did you start just you and then he kind of hopped on?
I used to have him on there more often in the old videos that I've deleted. When you start working with somebody else, you get to see them, like, go through all the stages of awkwardness on camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can, and then when I edit the other person, I'm like, oh wow,
yeah.
Do I do that? I don't know if we've covered this on the 3 times we've started over, but I'm dog sitting right now.
Yes.
This is not my dog.
Wait, which one is that? Is that Joey?
This is Phoebe.
Phoebe. So there's Phoebe, Joey, Elvis, who is your hot dog, and then Flower.
Yes, she's not pictured.
Okay. Oh, she's so cute.
She's the best one.
For those listening and not watching, Jen is holding a very cute sausage called Phoebe, who I would die for. I love her.
Oh, I would too.
She's so pretty. And she seems
and she's
really
well behaved.
Cuddly. Yeah. Unlike her brother Joey, who humps her.
Yeah, Joey is bad.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I wanted to ask, actually, you were saying that James is in your earlier videos, a lot that you have deleted. If you don't mind me asking, how comes you've deleted a fair few videos? What was the reason behind that?
They were just really crappy.
That's fine. That's valid.
They were filmed on like an iPhone 7 and...
Yep. No, that's...
And I'm super shy and I'm like, so this is the Duggars? There's 19 of them? You know.
You know, I honestly, there are some videos looking back that I'd like to delete, but even just making one or two private, people ask where they've gone, and you're like, who? You watch those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are ones I'd like to delete, but I feel like if I did, it would just draw more attention. I have some questions from subscriptions because a lot of subscriptions are also Genonites, as I mentioned earlier. Do you, if you don't mind me asking, like, because you make fundamentalist content, obviously you'll get angry comments. Obviously, this is youtube.com. Have you ever had someone reach out via message to say, fuck you?
Not via message, no.
Oh, that's good.
It's always comments. Well, I have a filter on my comments, and then I also,
Yes.
on Instagram, there's like the built-in filter. But it's usually just like comments.
Mm-hmm. From Duggars fans.
Get saved, fatty. A lot of the Duggar fans come out, they're like, they're just a nice, wholesome family. What are you talking about them? You just hate them because they're Christians. Or they'll be like, oh God, it's always this same line too. They're like, you need to work on your BMI before you come for others' choices. Okay.
I just find it so funny, the idea that the Duggars have fans.
Even now, they're like, this whole thing, they're like, well, Anna Duggar believes that Josh is innocent, and that, like, I believe she said it was a conspiracy from Joe Biden.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
And then he's like being framed. So
oh Jesus. I mean, I wish, because that's much better than the actual truth,
Right.
which is horrific. So
yeah, I wish he was in jail for like selling a stolen car. Like, I wish it was the other thing.
I mean, when that all came out, I saw your Instagram live, and you were saying, oh, it's going to be like the IRS, it's going to be financial, it's not going to be that. And it was that. Like, obviously we knew because of the whole thing.
I don't know. I didn't want it to be true.
Yeah, I mean, it's so sad. Because if it was like a financial thing, it would have been funny. We could laugh at him. But this is just sad, you know? Like,
it goes even deeper. You have no idea. Well, I guess I could just tell you, but so
yeah, no, please do.
The family that is Josh Duggar's guardian right now, their daughter is engaged to okay. This is like 5 degrees of fundies. Do you know who the Rodriguezes are?
I do. I've seen your video.
Okay. So the Rodriguezes are connected to the Kellers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Kellers. And the Kellers are in-laws with Josh Duggar.
Mm-hmm.
So the family that is watching Josh, their adult daughter is engaged to one of the brothers of a Keller brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So even after all this stuff that Josh did, people are so willing to, like, they want to be famous so bad. They want to be connected to the Duggars in some sort of way that they're doing this. Like, why is everybody, like, stop, go find another family. Get off the ship. What is this?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, like, it's amazing to me, as you say, people want to be associated with someone even if they're famous for terrible reasons. And I guess that reminds me of the fact that we've known about this for a while. Like, obviously you've covered this in depth. There was that whole, Josh admitted when he was a teen, I can't remember exactly how old, but he said he touched his sisters inappropriately, blah, blah, blah. And TLC still continued to platform them, and it's not just the Duggars, as it turns out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't even realize till after I made my video that was specifically about TLC and Predators, was that 90 Day Fiancé also has a bunch of Predators. I'm like, well, I haven't seen that one, so
as in
I guess
the
ignorance is bliss.
Cast or the people, like the crew?
The cast.
Oh. So to pivot to a much more wholesome topic, someone has asked, how did you and her first discover each other? Would you like to go first?
My boyfriend found you first and told me to watch. So that is my true tea.
I love that. Good old James.
And then he was also like, oh, you should talk to her. So,
And now we're mates with a Z on the end.
Mates.
Yep. My first memory of Jen is your thumbnail for the transformed wife video, which for people listening, to describe it, Jen is kind of just, there's like an explosion. Is it on your head or is it around you?
Yeah, it's like
your mind
superimposed explosion.
Exactly. Your mind being blown by how terrible Laurie is. Her name's Laurie, right?
Yeah.
The transform Laurie something. Yeah.
Laurie Alexander.
She has some explosively bad takes, like that marital grape isn't a thing.
Yeah, she's like,
so, yeah.
She's very proud of her anti-woman beliefs, and she goes on Twitter and argues with people all the time, and she thinks women should not work, they should stay home and raise the kids. If you send your kids to daycare, then you're like a sinful, horrible Jezebel woman who's letting the state raise your kids, and if your husband hits you, if he abuses you in any other way, you have to stay with him. She's one of those people that'll be like, at least you have a husband. She's one of those, you'll be like, oh, my husband beats me every night, and she'll be like, well, little Sally over here doesn't have a husband, so you gonna tell her that? Like, excuse me?
Meanwhile, Sally's thriving. Sally's got a friend, a woman friend who's the same age, and they're best friends and they live together.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Actually, I've got another interesting question which I would like to ask you, because fundamentalism. How do you stay sane while researching all the shit that you do, LMAO? And I would love to know, like, because some of the stuff you look at is pretty intense. Some of it's funny, but some of it's pretty intense.
I take a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
I play Sims in between rounds of research.
Oh, actually,
and then I can like listen to a podcast while I play, so it's like double, you
know. Jen, what day is it today? Sims. The Sims. It's the Sims. It's a callback to the Sims. Callback to the Sims.
This is Cottage Living comes out today. It's actually out right now.
This is a public service announcement. Yep. Have you got it yet, or are you going to get it after this?
I'm getting it the second that we hang up.
Okay. I won't keep you too long then, because you've got some cottage core. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have a Fundie Family that I'm playing, and I have an oldest daughter, and she's going to be like Jana Duggar, and she's going to have chickens. It's going to be a whole thing.
Okay, so how many kids can you have in Sims? Because I know Sims 2, which is the furthest I've got, you can only have 8 in a household. So how many can you have in a Sims 4 household?
8, but I have a mod that allows you to have unlimited. So I have 14 children right now, and this is some real tea. One of them got taken away, and I was not happy about that, so I just exited the game without saving. So you heard it from me. 14 kids? That's too many. I couldn't even do it.
Wait, so when did they get taken away because they weren't being fed, or just because?
Because their grades were poor.
Oh.
Yeah, and Sims 4 doesn't even have the social worker anymore. I didn't even know what was happening. My Sim, little redhead boy, his name was Isaiah, okay? R.I.P. He like
That's
this
a very
green
funny name.
Well, I'm doing an alphabet theme.
Okay.
Anyway, so he got covered in green light, and then he just disappeared, and then I got a notification.
Like he's being abducted by aliens.
Yes, and then it was like, you did not take care of your son, now we're taking him away. And I was like, not on my watch.
Don't save. Exit without saving. Fuck you.
I was like, it's worth it.
Oh, that's brilliant. I need to play Sims 4. I feel like it would be very suited to my life, but I just haven't got around to it.
There's some crazy that's like, you don't even have to play it the normal way. Like, I have an extreme violence mod. You can like kill people with chainsaws.
That sounds lit.
Oh yeah, and you can do like cocaine and stuff.
I would love to do cocaine as
you.
a sim.
More tea on my fun. This should be the title of the podcast. So, the oldest son, he's addicted to cocaine, and
of course,
the parents, they'll get a moodlet, and it'll be like, my sim is pissed because his son did drugs, and then this was automatic. It sent him to rehab. No. So I was like, you know what? He's gonna get clean.
So,
Lord willing.
This is a mod, obviously, but if this was an expansion pack, what would it be called? Expansion pack addictions, or?
Well, they have like the theme with the naming is like, it's always like something living or discover. So it'd be like, discover amphetamines.
Addicted living or some shit.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, and then I made a drug dealer, and his name is Doug Dreeler.
Incredible. Did you say a while ago that you wanted to start a Sims channel?
Yeah.
So is
But
that happening? Is that
I
in the
need to.
works?
It
Yeah.
is a lot of work.
It does look like a lot of work. Screen recording shit is difficult. Can we just throw that out there?
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks to make a video with screen recording because it always fucks up. Always.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but the Sister Cindy video, we filmed twice.
Yep.
You were lied to.
Yep.
Because I recorded it wrong.
Don't worry. I mean, I did the exact same thing with the podcast today, so we're even now.
Yeah.
Inappropriate question we got here. I'm not going to ask you that. It's about titties. And you know we're massive prudes, Jen, so I won't ask you that. This is a question I like. Who is your favourite person you spoke about on your channel? And it doesn't have to be favourite in terms of like, I think they're a good person and I want to be friends with them, as in like most interesting.
I got the answer right here.
Okay.
Hands down, Tammy Faye Baker.
Yes.
Is my favorite person ever, alive or dead.
Yeah, she's very nuanced, I think, because a lot of the people you talk about are just arseholes, and that's it. Like, we just talk, you know, they're arseholes, and that's who they are. But she's much more, I think, complex, you know?
Yeah, and like, so the one, I'm an unapologetic Tammy Faye stan, okay? So the bad thing she did, I did quotes there, everybody, don't cancel me. But she was a televangelist, and her and Jim made a lot of money and did not necessarily reinvest it back into God's plan. They kept a lot of the money for themselves and lived very lavishly. But she didn't assault anybody like Jim, okay? And she loved gay people since the 70s. She was such a wonderful, bubbly, perfect, amazing angel.
And I mean, obviously, I urge anyone to watch Jen's video on her, but I think it's also important to stress that at that time, especially in fundamentalist circles, because I think a lot of the discourse we get today is, oh, why should we praise someone for doing the bare minimum? At that time, it was radical, especially as a fundamentalist. Even today, as a fundamentalist, it's pretty radical to be an ally, right? So when she was talking about the AIDS epidemic, she showed her compassion, and it was really beautiful to see, and sadly rare for televangelists. So she really was a remarkable person.
I'm looking it up. Okay, 1987 was when Princess Diana met with an AIDS patient and gave him a hug and stuff. Okay, so it was like the same time.
Yes.
And yes, I did just drop Princess Di's name just as a, like, you know, I know British culture.
Because I'm British.
Right. I'm stereotyping you. I know in real life a like royal family apologist who's an American, and they hate Meghan Markle.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm like, first of all, why do you have an opinion?
Yeah.
Second of all, why do you have the wrong opinion?
I'm genuinely thinking about making a video on that because our obsession with the royal family is so fucking strange. Like, first of all, we have a monarchy. What the fuck? It's 2021. Yeah. Second, the British public are always on the side of the royals when they're wrong. And like when the whole Prince Andrew shit was coming out, the royalists, they were just talking about Meghan. When there was a nonce. There was a nonce. And all they could talk about was Meghan. I just can't. These people. Yeah, royalists are a special breed, Jen. I genuinely think I might make a video on them because they need
I want
to
watch it because I don't understand a lot of stuff and I want to know.
Oh, it's ridiculous. That being said, as you say, there are some Americans that like the royal family because I think there's something like exotic about monarchy. And I remember I have an uncle who is a character, let's put it like that. And every now and then, every few years, he would just turn up to our house uninvited. And my mum and him don't exactly see eye to eye. He's my dad's brother. And he'd come in and she'd be like, fuck's sake, he's here. One time he turned up and it was during the royal wedding. I don't think it was Meghan Harry's. I think it was the first one, whatever the fucking other ones are called. He brought an American lady who was in the UK for the royal wedding. And I was like, what, as in you're going? And she was like, no, just because it's happening. So there are a couple of Americans that for some reason have been enchanted and are under the spell of the monarchs. God knows why.
I mean, I watched The Crown, season 1. But
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. And then there's
it was
flying to the
interesting.
UK for the royal wedding when you're not even invited just to be there.
So in the 80s, AIDS was really stigmatized,
Oh,
and
yeah.
people didn't know anything about it, and they literally thought that you could get it from like touching somebody or breathing the same air as them. And a huge population of gay men contracted AIDS because before we know now what causes it and all about it and all those things, but back then it was just like it almost seemed like random. And they were treated really horribly, and then it wasn't until Princess Diana visited. I want to say I'm gonna get this completely wrong. Wasn't it a kid that she visited?
Princess Diana shakes hands with an AIDS patient without gloves, 1991. So later than
Okay.
Tammy. Not that that's on Diana. He was a man, like an adult. Yeah, she
Well,
shook
there was
hands with him.
people were getting AIDS from blood transfusions, and even
Hmm.
kids were getting it. You know, because you don't you there's more than one way to get it. So the tide started to really turn, and public opinion
Yeah.
started to be like, "Oh, we should take care of this." But a huge problem was Ronald Reagan in America was very it's a
Hmm.
gay disease. You know, it wasn't giving any money;
Hmm.
he was just
Hmm.
ignoring it. But Tammy Faye was radical in that she was friends with this man, and not only was he just an AIDS patient that she interviewed Steve Peters, he was a gay pastor um, in what 87. So this was a radical idea, and he's still alive, and gives interviews and talks about stuff. But so that was pretty radical of Tammy, and she was always gay affirming. And in the 2000s, she started appearing on reality TV shows, and that's where I found her, was on The Surreal Life. Um, and people started falling in love with her again, and then
Hmm.
she got sick. So unfortunately she's gone, but she would give tours about how when the whole world abandoned her because there was all those scandals with Jim in the 80s and he went to prison, she said the gay community were the ones that took me in and took care of me. And that's true for a
Oh.
lot of celebrities. I don't know if you there's this show called Wife Swap, and there's this lady
Yes.
known as the God Warrior. She's the one that's like, he's not a Christian. If
Mm.
you It's a famous clip. Well, she got taken in by the gay community, and now she loves gay people. So it's really just like
Oh, I love that.
the people you wouldn't expect, but that's why we left Tammy on this channel.
Exactly.
Um,
We stand, Tammy. And I think it's important, yeah, to sort of bring cases like that up because there are some people who are very religious, but, you know, let's not all paint them with the brush. Not saying that there's not an issue there in the church.
yeah, and I'm learning more and more like fundamentalism seems like it's everywhere because they're the loudest. You know, it's always bigots
They
that
are
are
the
the loudest, but
loudest.
like they
Hmm.
are kind of in their own little world. No, maybe that's not even true. We feel the effects of fundamentalism in greater society, but fundamentalism really is its own unique movement that I'm learning about because I talk to people who were like, I was Catholic and it wasn't like that, or I was Catholic and they were homophobic, or what I'm trying to say is it's not a one size fits all, like you were saying. But there's a lot of people that I
Yeah.
talk to that are like, my church was always affirming and nice. What are you talking about?
It's also interesting, I think you can have some countries that are very religious but are weirdly progressive in some ways and not so progressive in others. So, like for example, in Ireland, where my dad is from, and when I say Ireland, I mean like the Republic. They, legalize gay marriage, and I think we're less strict on abortion. Still have pretty strict abortion laws, like before Northern Ireland. Who, yeah. So it's just interesting. Like even though a very Catholic country can be very affirming. Like I
Hmm.
don't know. It's interesting. Like there's just kind of these interesting. I don't want to say contradictions, but it's pleasantly surprising sometimes. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's actually something I wanted to ask. So you're from Missouri, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Missouri a state which only has one abortion clinic?
Now,
Is that
yeah.
true?
We
Yeah.
used to have more. We had
So
one in my town, and it was actually the one that in the movie Hail Satan, the Temple of Satan.
yeah.
I get them confused, but there's a lot of satanic church names. But they came to my Planned Parenthood in my town and filmed part of their documentary there. But Yeah, there's only one. It's in St. Louis, which is about 2 hours away.
Do you think that's a religious thing, a conservative thing, both? Like, what do you think about that? Like, does it feel Missouri, or is it just sort of the U.S. general Republican?
I think it's just Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Most red states are like that, and they it's like abortion is legal technically, but they have all these rules on the clinics that they shut down. Like the reason the one in my town got shut down, well, it's still a Planned Parenthood, but they don't do abortions, is because there was some law in our town that they had to have admitting privileges to the local hospital. And
Mm.
that's one of the scare tactics. Are like, just in case something goes wrong, you got to be able to go to the hospital, right? And they do stuff like they got to make sure that the hallways are a certain length because they have to fit a gurney and like just all these little things.
Mm.
And the the hospital affiliated with the university um, said, no, we're not going to give you admitting privileges. So then they couldn't do it anymore. Yet we still have protesters out there every single day, even though there hasn't been any abortions done in like 5 years. So
Yeah.
you know
Gosh,
what I
that
really
is.
hate about Planned Parenthood protesters is they're lazy. They literally sit on chairs and like read a book. I'm like, if you cared about these fetuses, you'd be up. Get up.
Yeah.
Don't sit there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, when I was at university, I was in a play that was about abortion, because of course I was. And it was, I mean, I think it was implicitly pro-choice, but it wasn't explicitly pro-choice. And
I was gonna
we
say, did
had
you
like
play
a
the baby? Yeah.
Oh, I should have, shouldn't I? Basically, we had like a little, not like the full play, but we showed like a couple of scenes at the local bookshop because that's really bohemian and shit. Some protesters came, and they came with signs about Nazi Germany, and
Oh,
didn't sit right with
why is it?
uh
You know what's funny is that like since both sides, and I've obviously made Nazi comparisons on my own channel, but like the left and the right is always throwing Nazi around like it's a like a I don't know, like that's you can't just use that as like your description when you mean bad. You can't just use Nazi as
Yes, it is overused. It is
and then
definitely,
it
yeah,
takes
I
the
think
meaning and you're like Nazi. Oh, like Richard Spencer.
exactly. We need to be careful. I definitely think so.
But yeah, they
But
were well a lot of Jessa Sewell, Jessa Duggar. She before now her Instagram content is like mommy blogs, but she used to talk about the abortion holocaust, and you know she was like, I went to Anne Frank's house and let me just tell you, seeing those bodies was just like all the millions of babies that are aborted every year. And like, stop that.
the
It's not the same
level,
thing.
yeah, the level of disrespect. My goodness. Oh, wow. Yeah, but then I suppose I just sort of think to myself, if I was that entrenched in it, like perhaps, you know, if you literally think something is murder, like you would want to stop murder. Uh
Yeah.
but the problem is it's just not quite not quite there on the science.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit off. So if you were a god, what would you be the god of? Other than cows. That was aimed at me, I'm guessing.
Oh
The
wow.
cow bit, I mean.
I guess dachshunds.
Yes.
Already, and it's on the merch, you know.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, no. In fact, actually, this might be a good moment for you to plug your stuff, to tell people where they can find you and where to find
Do
your
they?
work. Yeah.
If you don't know who I am by now, then you have been living under a
If
rock.
you don't know me by now. Is that how it goes? Yeah, that's a song, right?
If I had known it, I would sing it with you. I love singing. Okay.
Oh, great.
Fundie Fridays on everything.
Cool.
You know,
Yep.
if you want to join the Discord, you got to go to my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. I've been on TikTok a lot lately. I'm really funny.
Yes, I loved that Limp Bizkit one that you and James did. That made my day. Limp Bizkit University is
Let me tell you,
Jen's
Fred Durst.
university. Yeah, exactly.
Fred Durst was at. They did a free concert recently, the Limp Bizkit, and they were telling people to get vaccinated and wear their masks and stuff.
That's really rock and roll. I love it.
And Smash Mouth don't wear masks, so
Oh.
I'm like, who listens to Smash Mouth? Our fans do. You know, our fans probably watch Shrek every day.
Yeah. Hey now, you're not an all-star if you don't wear a mask.
I had a karaoke machine as a child. I got it for my birthday, and one of the CDs had All Star on there. So I knew all the lyrics before Shrek became a meme again. And I was like, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment.
Yes, exactly. Oh, damn, that's disappointing about Smash Mouth. Come on, Smash Mouth, do better.
Yeah, they were playing at, it's called Sturgis, and it's this giant motorcycle festival.
Of course. Of course, yeah. Were they wearing motorcycle helmets instead of masks?
Oh, I didn't look. I don't know.
Okay, well, do you want to say bye-bye together? You know how I say it in my videos. So if we both go bye-bye, you know, like in...
Oh, it's like bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like that?
Are you ready? Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I'll get up close. Bye.
Bye-bye now.